Everyone, so today I want to show you how to make a simple application. It's a to-do application to add some uh, tasks in your to-do list. First of all, we open the Android Todo and create a new project. We will name it to do. Okay. So we will use Java to make this program. So I won't stick on the Kotlin support here. We choose the phone and tablet. It depends on what devices you want to is your application run on. So I just choose API of 23. So it will support from the Android 6.0 to the latest one. Click next. So we will choose an empty activity, which is an empty screen, and just leave everything as default. So it will take for a while to set everything up. Okay, I think everything is finished here. So first of all, we want to make the layout of the application. So Android Studio allows us to create the layout very easy. And you can see like by default your application will have a header with the name of the application, and inside you had a test view with a word hello world. Okay, so I want to get rid of this hello world because I don't need it. Just you can right click here and delete it. So we will think about what components we will need inside it app. So for now we will need three of them. First one is a test, an input field like where the user can input the test, and the second one is the button. When the user tap on it, the test inside the input test in the input field we will add it to the list. So we need a input field, the button, and the list view. So first we will search. You see the search, but like not everything will be showing here. So for quickly find the component, you can click on the search button here and search for the edit test. Here is will have the name plain test, so it's the same thing. So you can click on it and drag it into the screen in the middle of the screen. Okay, so we need to constrain the component into a screen. So to do it, you click on the plus sign here. It's like it's help you to constrain, like to hold the position of the component inside the screen. So the next thing you see a warning, it tell you like the name, which is the name here, the text name here is hard coded, as you can see here. So you want to get rid of it, and we need a placeholder for the input. So to avoid the hard coding, we go inside you look at the project structure in the left hand side. You click in the rest folder and then the values folder, and inside the string HTML, no, I'm sorry, the string.xml, we create a new string here. So string name, so this would be the input placeholder. I think it should be the snake case of input placeholder closes, and it will be auto close the task for you. So in the middle, in between the opening and the closing tag, you need to provide the values of the string. So I will do like tab here. Okay, so later on we will need the string for the name of the button. So I will create another one here, the button add. Okay, so it's just simple work add here. We come back to the layout activity man. So the edit we already had the edit text here, but we want to set the placeholder. So it will not be the test attribute here because the test attribute will always display the value of the user input. So to make it a placeholder, we can click on the test tab here, and it will show the XML for the layout. So I will add another attribute at the bottom of the edit test component. So it should be the hint. To tap enter, and it will the autocomplete will have a suggestion for you for what is the value you want to put here. So it should be the input placeholder that we already defined in the strings.xml. It will be the tab here. So we come back to the design view. You can see the placeholder now had a value of test tab here. Okay, so the next thing is the button. So it's already here. We just need to drag it into the view. Okay, so don't forget to make the constraint, and we're done with it. The next thing is the name of the button. So as we already defined our variable, so we use it here, string button. So this just add string slash button add, which we define here. So like if later on you need to use like more component with the same test value, you just need to change one here. You don't need to go through every components and like change the test of each of them, which is very convenient for you. One thing before I forget, I need to remind you that for every component you put inside here, you need to give it an ID. So this ID allow you to select, to connect, you allow you to connect it with the Java code later on. So give it a meaningful ID. So because when your application is so complicated, you have a lot of components, so you want to recall the component easily. So the easiest way is give it a meaningful ID. So for the input field here, I just give it an input field, the ID of input field like this. Yes. Add button. So okay, just give it the name of add button. Okay, and one more thing I need to show you. You had an on click attribute here in for the add button. You need to assign values here. So this value will be the name of the function in the Java code that we will define later. But this function will be triggered every time you click, the user click the button. So I will give it a name on add item. Okay, just like that. So the last thing will be the list view. It will be the list of the item that user input. So list view here, and you drag it. By default, it will expand to fit the size. So make the contents, and then give it a ID just to the list view. Okay, so now we done with the layout. this is the warning about the corresponding method not found because we didn't define it. So now we are finished with the layout. You can run the application for now to check if the layout is okay or not. It will be a little bit ugly, but it's okay because we want to make the thing works for now. Okay. It just look a little bit ugly in my application because the screen size. So let me check. I think might be this one, the pixel 2. So I will okay, so I will fix it. Okay, it looks okay now. But the only problem here is when I click here and the keyboard show up and it pushes the layout up. So and I cannot see the text input and the button here. If you had the same problem, you need to go to the manifest file here. Okay, we need to give this activity another attribute. Let me remember something. Window, yeah, this one, and had a value actual span. So now I will run it again. Okay, it works now. So when the keyboard show up, it doesn't push the wheel up anymore. So now we come back to write the code. Okay, so because okay, we will make the function public void and the name is on add item, I believe. Is the function that we name for okay is on add item exactly. So this one we will check parameter of the view, just name it view. So you need to import it. Okay, need to import it here. Just leave it like that because this is the on create function. So by default, when you the app when you start it up, this function will be called at first. So this inside the function is where we define all the component, but we need to access the component inside the function, so we need to declare it outside of those two functions. So first we need a button, just name it add button. It's just Java code. So another thing is the input field, right? So it's here edit text class. It's edit text class, so it's input text. The next thing is the layout, the list view. So is it the list view? To do list. We need another thing, an array list, because this array list we will store all the tasks that the user input into this array list. So and then we will use this array list to provide the data to the list view. So just follow me. It will be a array of string. It will be the list, the simple name. So after we declare it in the beginning of the class, so inside the on create function, we will assign the value for it. So begin with the add button, is equal to the find view by ID. So this function will help you to find the ID of the component and assign it to the variable name here. So and all of the ID will be stored in the R class, and then the ID, and then followed by the name of the ID. So the button, I believe, will be add button. It's not here. Oh, I need to check back. Oh, it's just the button. I think I did. Sometimes you will have problem that you change the name here, but it's not really save it. So for the bad practice, you can go to change it inside the XML version, XML view here. So it should be the name of add button. Okay, we have the ID for all the other thing. Should be input field. Okay. Oh, this you constraint layout, so it's related to everything. Okay. We had the add button. Okay. Next thing is the input test. Go to file view by ID. It's familiar to the get element by ID in DOM when you work with the web. So this is something similar. So next is the input test. So input field. No, it should be input field. I need to check again. Yes, input field without. The next thing is a list field. No, it's a to-do list. To-do list. Equal to file view by ID r.id dot to-do list view. Lastly, we will define the initialize the list, the array list, equal to new array list, and just like that. That's all for this. So inside here we will create a new test variable. So it will be equal to the input test dot get test. So this will get the test of the input test field here. So whatever the user input here, when you click the button here, it will trigger this function, and this function will create a new test string equal to the test, whatever the test is. It will get the test from the input test here. But the problem is this get test function is return a char-C1, I believe. It's not string. Look, I just want to show you what is return. It's just not a string, so we need to add the toString method at the end, so it will convert whatever the result is to string. So now we had a test. We will add it to the list, to the array list here. So list dot add the test. This is the built-in function of the array list. And now next thing you by default you cannot just add this array list to the list view layout and to display it in the view here. You need something to convert the data so the array list and the list view can work together. So we need the array adapter. So this will help convert the data of the array list to something that the list view here can display, use it to display to the screen. So array list, so I just call it the adapter. Go to new array adapter. So it needs this constructor function of array adapter need 3 arguments. First is the context. Just give it this. The next thing is the layout of the list, the layout of how the list view will render the item inside it here. So I will give it the simple one, Android doc doc layout doc. Just we can use the symbol list item one here, and the last argument is the data itself. So it should be the list, the array list. So just like that, and you're done with it. So lastly, we will call the to-do list and set adapter and provide the adapter z as argument here. So I think this is enough for the application to run. So let's try it. Okay, I will type something. Learning Java add. Okay, now it's so here. Another thing. Python. Okay, it's so here. But the problem is now the after you click add, the text here still remain. It not disappear, so it's kind of annoying. So we will do something inside the code. We will set the text of the input text, set text to be an empty string, just like this. Okay, so Java add. Okay, so now you see after you click add, it the text here will be disappear. It will be set to empty string. Another problem is when you click add again, it will add the empty item here. So I don't want it. I don't want the user to be able to add an empty string. So we will do the if statement here. We check if text dot equal to an empty string, and if this is not true, we will do the whole bunch of thing here. And if not, which means the text is empty, just leave it, just do nothing. So run the app again. I will try to add an empty item. Okay, so now you can see like you cannot add any empty items here. So I will type something, should give something, oh sorry, to give something meaningful. So Java, Android, and empty thing. Okay, now it worked perfectly. So hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have something to ask, please leave a comment below. Thank you.